Hey, welcome to another Teaching with Tech tip, which is 3 T's in a row, which I guess could be seen as alliteration. We could call this T cubed or triple T. Anyways, I'm losing focus here. Today I want to talk about engagement on Zoom, and especially when we're teaching these online classes, it's a huge issue. And I think it's something that we need to address, and I don't think I can actually address it properly in like a 2-minute tech tip video. But I think I want to start kind of priming the pumps on some things that we can do differently. I have been totally guilty of this myself, where I've gotten onto a Zoom session, I've got a PowerPoint presentation, it's all got animations, and I try to keep it as interactive as possible, but it's basically me lecturing. I'm talking at the camera. I do it for 15-20 minutes, and then I try to be an engaging instructor, so I throw a question out, or I have a poll, or I ask them to throw up a hand, or even just hit yes in the engagement, and I hear nothing but this. It makes for a really awkward session. And you think that you've got them, but then you don't. And you feel like you're being ghosted, or that they've walked off, gone to the bathroom, or playing COD or whatever, but they're not with you. So one thing that I'm really working at trying to do is creating more of an active environment for my students to engage in. It makes me think that lecturing, while it's part of our toolbox and part of our tool set, oftentimes it's our default and it's our go-to, and oftentimes I think a lot of us think that it's our only tool. There are other ways to teach, and so I would really encourage you to look into other ways to bring students into the engagement, to get them active in this. And I'm not saying that there is no room for lecture, because there is. We need to get some of the information across. But why not bring in something like a Padlet, or like I talked about a couple weeks ago, a Jamboard, or maybe I'll talk about in a little bit in a few weeks about I use Google Slides, and I create these templates for my students to build out from. But we can get them way more engaged. And when I have taken on this active learning, as opposed to just passive learning where they listen and it's a transactional situation, when they're more active in building things and use those breakout rooms with groups and such, you get yourself way more engagement. And that's just been my experience, is the moment I started getting my students more active in the sessions, and I know that's what we're talking about, is these active in the sessions parts, but by doing that, I don't mean asking them questions, because all you're asking them to do is regurgitate back what you've already spoken to them. The thing is throwing the ball in their court and asking them to create something. So maybe they watch something, listen to something, read something, but then this fourth one, create something. And that's where I think the active learning can be so powerful when we're teaching in these Zoom sessions. Get your students involved in active learning as opposed to passive learning, and I guarantee you will see that engagement go up. I'm not going to say it's going to go through the roof, but you'll see that it does actually make a difference. So for what it's worth, that's my little rant today. Again, I could not begin to cover in this whole video everything that you can do to get your students to engage more in Zoom. But I really do want to plant the seed about that whole active participation, and it just makes a big difference. I found it works. I know a lot of other instructors out there that have. If you have any questions at all about this, I'm going to put some links in the comments down below with using Padlet, as well as using Jamboard, and how you get your students involved in that. And like I said, I'm probably going to do a little video up on how I use my Google Slides to engage my class, because it seems to work really well. I just went through it with the class just recently last week, and nothing but great feedback from them, and the learning has just been great. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.